Well, alright, I'll throw this in the next video. I just wanted to get y'all a little demonstration of how this electrolysis works. So here's the battery charger. I have it set as low as it goes, 12 volt, 10 amp, and you can see, put the negative on the tank, and the positive I've hooked to this rebar anode. You can see I got a bottle cap there. There's some more down in the tank to keep it suspended off the sides of the tank. And if you see this dripping, it's not leaking. I believe it's just overflowing and running down. You can't see it, but you can see it over there. It's running down. I think that's all it is. It's just overflowing. And like, I'll try to zoom in a little bit and see if y'all can see that. You can see how it's bubbling and moving in there. That's just normal. That's how this stuff works. And that tells you it's working. Well, the tank was finished. I ran it for about 3.5 hours. I think it's about long enough. It doesn't look like it collected a ton. I'm not sure if something went wrong or if there's just not a ton of rust in the tank to collect. I knew it wasn't super bad, just a bunch of surface rust. So maybe that was it. But I'll dump it out and I'll check back in once I've got it cleaned up a bit, and I'll see if I can get you some pictures of the inside. Maybe some before and after. I think I have a couple before pictures of it. Little update on the fuel tank. I've got it mostly sanded down. I think it's about ready for primer. This is, like, to preface, I'm not trying to completely restore this tank to mint quality. I'm just trying to make it look good, and it's just gonna be a rider. And like, this way I don't care if I dent it or whatever. But like, as you can see, I fixed some of the holes with JB Weld. That'll get sanded down. Fixed the front of the tank with some Bondo. This was already Bondoed anyways. And I'll sand it down and prime it and paint it. Plan to do that tomorrow. But I'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to put together one whole video on just the tank, on the restoration and how that went, and the process I went through, just to maybe help y'all understand how it went, and if y'all are thinking about doing your own tank, how to do that. And I'll just let you know how this worked, and if I would do this again or if I'd go a different route. Alright, this might be a little hard to see, but I've got the tank hung up here in a tree. I know it's dark, but the wind died down enough. I think I'm going to hit it with a coat of primer, because today it was just windy all day. I was working on some other stuff on the 3-wheeler. Went and got some parts. Got the forks. More on those. But yeah, I think I'm going to hit it with a coat of primer before supper. And I think I'll probably finish up painting it some other day, but I want to get the primer on today. Alright, well, I brought the tank in and I hung it inside. And got about 3 coats on it. You're supposed to apply them pretty fast. About a minute in between each one. So I got it all done. I think I'm going to call that good. Like, I know you can still see where I put some JB Weld, but this tank was never meant to be perfect. It's never going to be. Some of the spots are kind of thin. I'm hoping it'll hold out and just be a good rider for a couple of years, but I guess we'll find out. Well, here's the tank. You can see I'm not super happy with the way that turned out. It's just looking worse and worse, but I gotta remember this is just a rider tank. The inside's bad enough. It's never gonna be a perfect tank, so I might as well just clean it up, make it look pretty nice, and just go for it. The rest of it looks pretty nice. That's not gonna be that visible up front. It's gonna be mostly covered by the triples, and there's gonna be the big fender that runs right here. And I just got the first coat of clear on, so I'm gonna do about 2 more clear coats. I think I'm gonna call it good for the tank here. Alright, right now I'm just going to show you a couple pictures what the 350X looked like when I bought it. These were the pictures on the listing, and give you a little backstory on this tank. So this tank, as you can see, was nothing special, kind of rough condition. So I got it, sanded it down, put some primer on it, put some paint and some clear coat, but unfortunately that paint and clear coat did not work, and I had to re-sand it back off and put on some different white, and a better clear coat. I believe the clear coat I used first off was just cheap, and that's why it yellowed like crazy. So, but as you can see, the tank, pretty rough shape, but I think it turned out amazing. You'll see that here in the next little bit. And here we go, it's kind of mocked up. This is before paint. As you can see, maybe you can tell in the picture here, the primer isn't really sticking. I actually sanded it more after this and put... Well, this will hopefully about wrap up the tank video. I believe it's pretty much cured and everything. Got the little grommet inserts back in there. I'll be putting the fenders on and the decals on before not too long, and I'm planning to buff it first. But yeah, this should about get it for the tank. I mean, it's not perfect. As you can see, there's definitely some blemishes on it, but I think it's pretty solid. I'll insert a couple pictures of what it looked like before, but I think it looks pretty good. Well, here's the tank, and probably the first thing you'll notice is that the engine's out of it. Unfortunately, I had some issues with that, but that's kind of for a different time. But it has to go in and get some stuff done to it. Nothing too major, but that's for a little bit different. That's probably for a different video. This one I'm going to focus on the tank. As you can see, got the new fenders on it. And like, obviously you can see a few dents. There's a low one right there. There's a low one on the top you can see. But this tank was never supposed to be perfect, and I think it looks 100 times better than it did. I'd say it turned out very well, considering it's probably my first time like actually trying to paint and clear coat something and make it look nice. But yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. And it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be for riding, and I think it looks pretty good for just a rider. I do have decals for it. I'll be adding decals later, but I'm not sure I'm quite ready to do that. So yeah, I think that's about all for this video though.